Be ready for love. Whether you are actively looking for a friend who might turn into more than a friend, or you are recovering from a breakup, it is important to think about love. Love will not fall into your lap. Love does not come running. Love is not looking for you. It doesn't have to. All you have to do is to keep on loving yourself and be ready for love to find you. I can understand how your vision of yourself might be, or almost certainly is, diminished if your love goes away. If your mate has died or met with an accident, or if somebody else caught their eye and lured them away from you. The thing is, you are accustomed to having somebody by your side. Their absence feels horrible right now. Sometimes, you can spiral down into all sorts of negative feelings directed at yourself, or them, or anybody else, if you feel like they might have caused this. You could be angry at the medical community, who didn't see something that might have meant more years for you and your partner. You might be angry at the bad guys who caused directly or indirectly your partner's death. You could be angry at whoever introduced the person who destroyed your marriage. This is grieving, especially if you didn't know something was going on in the case of the other person, or if you had known more about a medical condition that you might have made a difference in the treatment. All of the angst and anger that you are feeling now will get in the way of your own love. This is not a fertile ground for love. If you don't love yourself first, any sort of love, even if it is happiness with your work, will not follow easily. First step, forgive yourself. That's what we do with the people we love all the time, isn't it? You might sit down and say to yourself, "I forgive you." All sorts of feelings might come up. Process it. As with any other therapy you go through, some days you will have huge feelings and other days you won't. Just do it often. I don't say once every day because the wound is too deep right now. If you even just wrap your arms around yourself, that might do the trick. Say it until you believe it. In this instance, during your grieving process, you have to be the one to love yourself. Yes, there will be people who will offer their condolences, or worse yet, climb all over the offending party and say they had always thought there was something wrong with them. Just nod. Say thank you for all the well wishes and advice, and take care of yourself. It's like an affirmation. If you were going to have an affirmation to quit smoking, the phrase you would build should not have a negative in it. A good affirmation to quit smoking is to say something like, "I am smoke-free," which is more effective than, "I am not a smoker." Somebody explained to me that the brain tends to exclude any negative words, sort of like a 2-year-old prefers not to pay attention to the word no. Hence, your brain would hear, "I am a smoker," and nothing would be accomplished. So, as often as you would apply an affirmation to quit smoking, do the same for yourself on your road back to love. You are forgiven. You are wonderful. You are a loving being. Say these things every time you go to the bathroom. Look in the mirror at yourself and say, "I love you." A seed will not germinate if it doesn't have the right conditions. The same thing happens with love. Once you can, again, love yourself, you are in the proper frame of mind to attract a friend. How? Dating apps? No, not necessarily. Just be ready. Does a watched pot boil? Never. It just won't. Be okay with who you are. Don't think negative thoughts about how out of shape you are or how anxious you are. Get some therapy for 6 months. Write every day in a journal. Your eyes only. Remember that you are beautiful. You have always been beautiful, and you will always be beautiful. You are meant to be a loving human being. Have you heard of the law of manifestation? Everybody has their own advice about it, but to prove it to yourself, do it with something you've wanted for years. Something. A physical thing. A camera that costs a lot. A piano that you've never found room for. A new car. Something more than a pair of socks. The advice is that you think a lot about the thing you want. Have a picture or two of the item and tape it up somewhere in your area where you are going to be looking at it a lot, not behind a door, in front of your face. Then, look at it. Imagine it. Allow the wherewithal to acquire that thing to become clear to you, even if what you want is a degree or a certificate that will allow you to be qualified for different or better jobs. The way to get your schooling will float to your awareness. Suddenly, you see a YouTube video of somebody giving you the advice you need. You will hear of somebody in your neighborhood who wants to make some extra money as a tutor. You will hear of a part-time job where you can begin saving for a piano or the camera you want. The thing is, you are fixing up the best nesting box you can and inviting the ways the things you want in your life to happen. So, when we are talking about your love life, the idea is that the fertile ground is you. You are the one who needs to fix your hair. You are the one who needs to have a bit of therapy. There was never anything wrong with anybody else. You just needed to be ready to apply the laws of manifestation or attraction to your situation. You do the same thing as you would with whatever you want. You have already proven to yourself that the technique works. It might have taken 6 months, but you got that job done. Now, just think of ways to do it yourself. Nobody likes to listen to somebody who complains a lot. A little bit of complaining is okay, but an attitude of, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, sitting in my garden eating worms, is just never going to fly as far as attracting friendship or a possible love interest. Learn to listen to other people. People appreciate it when you pay attention to them. Just listen to their stories. Don't be a victim anymore. They did it to me. Or, if this had not happened, then I would be a millionaire. Again, nobody likes that. Just buckle down and work with what you've already got. Believe me, you are a wonderful person. First, you need to go where the people are. Staying at home writing, unless you want to be, is not going to allow you to mingle with people. Where would I go? Well, I'm 69 years old. I suppose I would go where the old folk are. Park bench, coffee shop, old coffee shop, not a new one. I think I would start smiling more. I don't think I smile as much as I used to, so more smiling. There is a senior center I could start going to. There is also the idea that you don't limit yourself to people in the age group that you are in. Be friendly to everybody. There might be some 40-year-old guy who would think you would be perfect for their father. You could volunteer your time somewhere, at a zoo or a soup kitchen or the library. You would figure it out, and lots of ideas would come to you. The thing is, the universe gives us what we need, not always what we want. Mick Jagger sang that song a long time ago, but it is true. The idea is that you can be happy again. Happiness attracts happiness. I will have done my job if you can sit there and think, maybe there is hope. Yes, I think I would have done my job. Peace, and thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe to Just Passing Through. It will help to grow the channel.